Hello, this is Bad Vibes. Today's video is a short one. I woke up this morning pretty sick, so bear with me. I sound a little off, but regardless, I hope you enjoy. Please hit that like button if you do, and sit back, relax, and enjoy. Just so people know, I reported this to Lyft and the police department in the city the threats were made. This was Sunday night, October 4th, 2020. I was in the airport, about to order an Uber, when I checked the Lyft prices. $20 cheaper to take a Lyft. So I requested one and almost canceled it because it was taking a while to find someone, when eventually a driver was found. Pretty much as soon as I entered the car and we started driving, he saw where I lived and started talking about murdering people, especially those on bikes, in the city I live. It wasn't just a once-off line either. He kept on going on and on about it. How he would get the cold sweats afterwards, and decided he didn't want to feel that way, so he tried not to. During this, I am texting my boyfriend because dude just make me feel super weird. I wasn't really trying to converse with him, so all of this was unsolicited information. Then he was saying how he was going to do a haunted house and make it super lame, and like it was over, and then once you try to leave, when you thought you were safe, he'd get you. I asked him, how would you do that, because I feel like a lot of people are really aware of their surroundings and would definitely see you coming. Then he said, you never know, I might just get you tonight. I laughed and said, I don't think so, as he's literally pulling up to my apartment. When we park, he just kept talking, so I'm like, okay, bye, and I had to unlock the door myself. And when I got out to grab my luggage from the trunk, he almost took off with it. It was weird too, both when he picked me up and dropped me off, he just stand behind me like a weirdo. It was super uncomfortable. He definitely knows which apartment I live in, and I'm pretty sure Lyft fired him. Edit, it's been a few weeks and I haven't seen him or his car hanging around my place. We'll continue to keep an eye out for him though. For context, I'm a 22-year-old male and I live in a large city in the Midwest. Now, I drive for Lyft while putting myself through trade school. I drive for other similar companies, but that's besides the point. I have many horror stories from those as well, but I'll tell those another time. It was Christmas Eve 2020. I was running a Lyft for a few hours before heading to my mom's house with my new baby and wife. Nothing special going on for the night, just the usual. I get a ride request. It's to pick up in a kind of lower income apartment complex. No big deal. I arrive and find my passenger. He has all his belongings, several boxes of stuff. Now, my car is a 2006 Chevy Impala, so it's not too big. We get his stuff loaded up, barely, and are on our way. During the ride, he's crying, saying his girlfriend was cheating on him, and how he had walked on them earlier that night. He couldn't stay there because it was her name on the lease, so I was taking him to a hotel. Now, in my city, we have a street that is well known for having vices, hookers, drugs, gangs, weapons, and shady motels. The works. We get to the motel, and he asked me to wait for him to check in and get his key. No problem, man, I say. I'll confess, I break the rules a little when it comes to Lyft. I have a gun hidden in my concealed holster, secured to the underside of my driver's seat for protection. Reason being, driving Lyft and other contract apps, I've had knives and guns pulled on me, as well as people tried to fight me, rob me, and all kinds of other things. But like I said, another time. This motel was on that street I mentioned before. Homeless people were everywhere. There was a dude on the far corner of the complex that still had a needle in his arm, passed out against the building. I'm a big fan of true crime and horror narrations, so I'm on edge. He gets his key. The whole motel is ground level, so to help this guy out, I drove to his door. As I mentioned, he had a lot of stuff, so I started to help him unload it. While on my second trip of getting stuff, I saw a guy come out of his room, just to the south of my car, followed by two ladies. They came up to the room I was next to, not my passengers. One of the ladies pounded on the door, then opened it. That's when I saw the guy raise a fucking shotgun up out of his long coat and storm into the room. The two ladies followed him, slamming the door behind them. Following that, I heard a lot of shouting and yelling. I was just waiting for the shots to ring out. Out of nowhere, my passenger comes up behind me. I can take care of this, man. Go ahead and take off. Have a Merry Christmas. And he gave me a cash tip. I don't even notice if he took the box out of my hands or slid a $5 bill in my pocket. I was frozen. I knew what may have been going down in that room. I had to leave, or at least get to where I could get my gun. I know that the guy and both ladies saw me, and I know they knew I saw the gun. I had to get out of there. You know, no witnesses. I got in my car and sped away quickly. I got a block or so away and called the cops. I gave them every detail. After I got off the phone with the police, I signed out of Lyft. I hadn't made much money, but I was done. I got a call later that night. The cops investigated. They never found the gunman or the woman, and there was no answer at the door that they came out of. The occupants of the room that they had went into said nothing had happened, and that was full of shit. I know what I saw. I'm a frequent reader, but first-time poster. I am a 26-year-old female living in a big city. I work every day, even during the pandemic, and take public transportation to work. So I've dealt with my fair share of men aggressively trying to talk to me, or even sometimes just looking for a fight. I put down a deposit on my own apartment, finally, so I was across the city dropping off my deposit. It started pouring, so instead of making the journey home on the bus, one transfer and a lot of walking, and I didn't have a raincoat, I decided to call a Lyft. My driver gets there, pulls up, and is motioning me to get in. I see he's not wearing a mask, so when he rolls down the window, I say, "Oh yeah, I'm just waiting to get in, so can you put your mask on?" He said, "What the fuck it looks like in my hand?" I was taken aback and said, "Oh, I know. I'm just waiting for the both of us." He hesitated for a second, then gave me a look so angry. I don't even know if I've ever experienced anything like this from a stranger. Pure anger. Like if I was in front of him, he would have killed me. I swear, it was that intense. He then said, "Do you think I need you to fucking tell me to put it on?" I said, no, I'm just waiting." He gave me a look again, sped off, not before calling me a "fucking see you next Tuesday." Of course, I reported him to Lyft, but the best part of the story is the strangers that backed me up. One woman said to me, "I saw what was going on. That was fucked up. I had your back." And then two older men who waited with me while I cried for my next ride, providing words of comfort. Not everyone is bad, but the shitty ones are truly shit. My mom brought up an interesting point as well, that since I probably got this guy fired, he's gonna have even more of that violent rage. And does he have my name and address? I'm not sure if he could get it back from Lyft. Something very scary that happened to me at LAX airport, and I didn't realize the gravity until this morning. Following my gut instinct saved our lives. My husband and I were in California seeing my grandma and grandpa. We were waiting for a Lyft driver to come and pick us up and take us to my grandpa's house, when a man with a Lyft sticker pulled up to where we were. The designated rideshare pickup told us that he was ready for new riders and that he could take us now, and that when we were in his car he would just add the route. I started considering it as he was just right there and the convenience was nice. He even took the phone from my hands to try to cancel the Lyft we had already ordered, but it seemed weird to me and my gut was screaming, "No, don't go." He got upset and said we wasted his time. Big eye roll he got. He got in his car and drove away. As he did, I took a photo of his license plate. I immediately emailed Lyft. They did an investigation this morning and I got an email back saying the license plate has never been used in their system and that they are happy that I didn't go with a man. Similar things in Los Angeles have gotten people killed. Guys, my gut instinct probably saved our lives.